President Trump declaring a national emergency and vowing to secure our southern border. Many Democrats and some in the media were quick to say it's fake. National emergency, no big deal.
First of all, it's not an emergency, what's happening at the border.
It's just simply no emergency there.
Unquestionably not a national emergency.
All hands on deck to refuse this president these fake emergency powers.
A national emergency to solve his manufactured crisis.
There is no national emergency.
Right.
With his fake national emergency.
By declaring this fake national emergency.
Our next guest, an angel mom, had a front row seat at the president's address, holding her son's picture and his remains in a small urn. Sabine Durden is the director and founding member of Advocates for Victims of Illegal Alien Crime, and she joins us now. Thank you for being with us. What's your reaction when you hear, good morning, what's your reaction when you hear, you were there in the Rose Garden, and then you heard a lot of Democrats, you heard a lot of the media, a lot of the press saying that this is all, there's no emergency, there's no crisis.
It's absolutely an emergency. It's actually a big crisis because we have illegals still flooding over the borders, unannounced, unchecked. And every day at the Rio Grande Valley, for instance, last week, on one day, they had 1,200 illegals just coming through and claiming asylum. Yes, it is a big crisis, and the president is right for what he did.
You got invited to the Oval Office. You had a chance to spend time with the president. If I'm to understand our producer's notes, you really felt he was sincerely trying to help everybody there and represent you. You also had an experience with Jim Acosta. What was that like?
Oh, that was, besides being with the president, that was my second favorite part of it. Acosta would have ignored us angel moms. He would have just packed up, but I got up real quick and accosted him and called him out on his lies and asked him when he's going to have us on. And as you notice, I'm not standing next to him because I didn't want to be his little prop for a 30-second shot. He owes angel moms, a lot of us. He owes us a real interview because CNN had me on maybe 3 years ago. 3 years, nothing, no angel mom. And it doesn't have to be me, it can be anybody. But he makes it about himself. And when I told him what I felt and how I felt about him, he again talked about himself, how much he loved us and put his hand over his heart and how he felt for us. And then he turned it into, well, the president calls us fake news. And I told him, yeah, I agree with him because he is.
Yeah, he felt he was condescending.
Yes, he was, very much so.
Tell us about your son for the folks at home that aren't familiar with your story.
Dominic was the love of my life, my only child. He was 30 years old. We called him German Chocolate. He was working for the Riverside Sheriff's Department as a 911 dispatcher, and he was also a pilot working for the fire department. And on July 12, 2012, at 5:45 in the morning, he was on his way to work on his motorcycle when an illegal alien with 2 felonies, 2 DUIs, and he received probation each time, turned his unlicensed and unregistered truck right in front of Dominic, killed him instantly. And the hardest part was that the DA and the judge in Riverside County, California, they knew him, gave him a deal of misdemeanor without gross negligence, and he received 9 months, 5-year probation, and served only 35 days.
Wow.
The call no mother wants to receive.
All right, Sabine, thank you very much.